You're watching NJ.ORG Varsity. We are here for today's matchup between the visiting Glen Ridgers and the home team, the Don Bosco Prep Ironmen. Both of these teams come into today's game highly ranked among New Jersey's top lacrosse programs. And we are sure to have a fantastic contest on hand for you today. My name is Mark and Sarah. I'll be here with you through the entire game, calling all the action for you on NJ.org. Both teams appear ready to go. Glen Ridge making their way out onto the field. The Ridgers come into this game 0-1, having lost their first game of the season to Bergen Catholic on March 26th. The Ironmen, on the other hand, are 2-0. They started up the season by beating Hun on 3/26, and they followed that up with a 11-5 victory over Christian Brothers on March 30th, excuse me. Don Bosco started the season ranked 13th on NJ.com in the preseason lacrosse rankings, while Glen Ridge, who finished last year at 11-8, was ranked 10th in the preseason rankings. Don Bosco coming off an 18-3 season and looking to stay undefeated so far in this young lacrosse season. Don Bosco Prep just finishing up on the sideline, is working their team into a frenzy for this game. Glen Ridge already out there ready to go. The players on the field for Glen Ridge, I'll give you a quick run through. Number 18, Jake Schwern, from left to right. Number 8, Kevin O'Neill. Number 25, Ryan D'Alessandro. Number 24, Jackson Kinley, their senior captain. Number 33, Jack DePhillips, a senior. Number 21, Brandon Haynes. And the defenders, number 20 for Glen Ridge, number 28, Marcus Cunningham. Number 23, Chris Bronander. And number 16, Jack Topping. And their goalie, heading to the net right now, number 6, Connor Duffus. Don Bosco also coming out, led by their goalie, Kieran McCullough. On defense, number 32, Dan Johnson. Number 11, Michael Stappert. And number 26, Chris Rilkoff. The midfielders, number 10, Greg Pandice, as they get ready for the face-off. Number 8, in the middle taking the face-off, number 4, John Andrew Spallanzi. He'll be taking that face-off against number 33, Jack DePhillips, the senior midi for Glen Ridge, their main face-off man. And we're underway. Both players fighting for the ball, and it's picked up by Greg Pandice as he goes to the right. Now back to Spallanzani as he carries it in. The 3 attackers for Don Bosco, number 18, Brooks Rubino, gives it to number 22, Jack Gall, and on the right side, number 12, Connor Carroll. Carroll, the senior, now the pass all the way back. Sullivan working it back to Spallanzani. Rubino with it now. Gall. Now back to the top to Sullivan. Now back to Spallanzani. Spallanzani trying to find a lane. Charging in. Fires one back behind the net. Don Bosco trying to find a lane, trying to find an opportunity to put in the game's first goal. Now running past the net. Nice move by number 16, Russell Maskey. Now shot off the post. And it rolls out of play, and Don Bosco will keep it. Riley O'Sullivan has it. So Don Bosco putting the pressure on early here against Glen Ridge. And their goalie, Connor Duffus, is already under the microscope. Don Bosco passing it around. Rubino back to Sullivan. Here's Spallanzani driving around the goal, looking for a shot. Now passes it back behind the net. Rubino. Sullivan. Russell Massey fires it past the net, and that will roll out of bounds. Don Bosco obviously keeping possession. Here's Jack Gall. Rubino to O'Sullivan to Spallanzani. Tight defense from Glen Ridge. They want to keep Don Bosco off the board here. The Ironmen trying to establish an early edge on their home field with a quick score. O'Sullivan driving towards the net. Pass number 28, Marcus Cunningham, and he fires it into the net for the first goal of the game. And O'Sullivan has put the Ironmen on the board. A 1-0 lead. And the Ridgers find themselves behind the 8 ball to start this one. I should let you know, neither scoreboard, the scoreboards in Don Bosco Prep today are not working. And now here is Jack DePhillips with the ball moving up as Glen Ridge tries to avenge the early goal, trying to look to get back even with the Ironmen. Defended by Greg Pandice. Now back to the top, back to the X spot. Jackson Kinsey, the senior, fires it over the net. Now it's a great catch. Now back to the behind front of the net, Matt Larkin. Larkin with a bounce shot in past Kieran McCullough. And just like that, we're even at 1. Great passing by Glen Ridge. Great passing by Glen Ridge as they find the open space in front of Kieran McCullough and are able to even up the score at 1. Now Don Bosco Prep winning the faceoff. D'Alessandro with it now moves to the right. Rubino gives it up to Jack Gall. Connor Carroll with it. Carroll to O'Sullivan. Don Bosco Prep working it around. Rubino to Gall to Connor Carroll. Back to the top of the spot. Back to the top. O'Sullivan gives it to Russell Massey. Massey trying to find his way in, looking for a shot. Good defense there for Glen Ridge by Nathaniel Johns. O'Sullivan with it back to the top. Good defense by Cunningham. Gives it up to Brooks Rubino. Rubino with it now again back to the top. O'Sullivan. Cunningham, McDermott, and John, the top defenders. Now here comes Russell Massey trying to find his way in. Can't. Gives it up to Gall. Gall to Rubino. And Don Bosco Prep controlling the action here as in comes Spallanzani. Can't find a shot. Now tosses it all the way back out to midfield where it's grabbed by the defenseman, Dan Johnson. Johnson trying to find a man to pass to. Tries to hit Massey, but it rolls past him, goes out of bounds, and that'll be Glen Ridge's ball. So Don Bosco Prep unable to get a goal there. And now Glen Ridge's defense trying to clear it. Back to Duffus. Duffus to DePhillips. Or excuse me, that's number 23, Chris Bronander. Still trying to clear it as Nathaniel John with it. John moving it up. Don Bosco fans are one offside. So John fires it in. Great defensive play by Chris Ralkoff. And now Don Bosco Prep moving up quickly with D'Alessandro. Rubino with it now. Gall. So both teams missing scoring opportunities. And now Don Bosco bringing in, and here comes a fresh sub from the bench. It's Spallanzani trying to find his way past the defenseman. Great check there by number 21, Brandon Haynes. And the defenseman is able to get Don Bosco to turn up, but a bad pass in front of the net. Intercepted, but Don Bosco can't keep possession there as Connor Carroll had an open net to score, but couldn't convert it into a go-ahead goal. Now Glen Ridge still trying to clear it. Patty McDermott bringing it up. He gets checked on the ground. Now tries to give it up to Jack DePhillips, and now we get a whistle. And the Don Bosco fans very vocal in their displeasure. And we have a timeout here for Glen Ridge. Ridgers calling timeout to try and maintain possession here. And both teams will go to the bench for an early chance to regroup. So both teams now in the timeout. Score tied here at 1 early in the first half. Each team with an early goal off of a face-off victory. Don Bosco getting their goal from Riley O'Sullivan, while Glen Ridge's score came from Kevin O'Neill. And both teams back out after the timeout. O'Neill establishing himself as a threat to score earlier this season. And the junior attacker scored twice in their loss to Bergen Catholic on the 26th. And now as we start back up, Matt Larkin bringing it into the zone. Larkin, good defense by Thomas Joyce. Now they pass, Glen Ridge passing it around. Back behind the net to O'Neill. O'Neill to Jake Schwen. Back to the top. Bringing it in is DePhillips. DePhillips charging in to the middle of the zone, trying to find a shot. Throws it past the net as he tried to fire it in for the go-ahead score. Glen Ridge will maintain possession as O'Neill has it behind the cage. Trying to bring it out. Good defense by Michael Steppert. On the right side, Jackson Kinsley, the senior captain. D'Alessandro with it. D'Alessandro trying to bring it around. Good defense, though, by Dan Johnson. Not let him get a free shot at the net. Larkin trying to charge it in. Nice move. What a shot behind his back for a fantastic goal by Matt Larkin. And it's 2-1 Glen Ridge. Larkin charged right past his defender. Went behind his back with the shot and found Twine. And Glen Ridge has a 2-1 lead. Face off now. And Don Bosco wins it. Quickly getting it up into the offensive zone. Bosco now slowing it down as the subs come in. Riley O'Sullivan with it now, and out goes number 8, D'Alessandro. As Don Bosco waiting patiently with it. The new player into the game, Russell Massey, back in as Spallanzani controls it. Now gives it up to number 12, Connor Carroll. Very patient approach here by Don Bosco. They don't want to waste this opportunity. Oh, great move past the net. Great move by Gall, but ends up having to pass it back out to Rubino. Rubino trying to fight and pass his defender. Good defense, though, by Jack Topping of Glen Ridge. Bosco trying to get this game back even. Massey to O'Sullivan. Gives it up to Russell Massey, O'Sullivan. That was Connor Carroll previously. Now here's Carroll with it, number 12. And Massey moving in position. Good defense, tight defense by Chris Bronander. Back to O'Sullivan. O'Sullivan defended by Marcus Cunningham, the defensive captain. O'Sullivan trying to get in past his man, but good defense by number 12, Michael Salvatelli, another senior defenseman. Spallanzani. Good defense again by Glen Ridge. Russell Massey tries to fire it across the net, but it goes wide, rolling out of bounds, and will go to Glen Ridge. Picked up by Brandon Haynes. Haynes, the senior midfield, long midi. Gets it across to number 23, Chris Bronander. Bronander bringing it up. Glen Ridge trying to clear. Good pass in, but a check there on number 24, Jackson Kinley. Glen Ridge trying to find a way to increase its lead. Schwerin loses it, but picks it back up. Gets it to number 7, Patty McDermott. Back to the top spot. Jack DePhillips. Senior midfielder is DePhillips, and he gives it to number 24, another senior, Jackson Kinley. Kinley, the captain of this Glen Ridge team, will be playing lacrosse next year at the University of Michigan. Obviously, one of Glen Ridge's top players. Now a bad pass goes past the midfield, picked up by Rubino. Rubino bringing it in. Good defense by Glen Ridge. They're checking, and we get a whistle. And a timeout by Don Bosco. Rubino getting checked, and the Don Bosco coach decided to bail his player out with a timeout. Russ Springer, coach of the Ironmen, bringing his team over for a strategy session, as is Carl Hauser, the coach of the Glen Ridge Ridgers. 2-1 Glen Ridge here in the first half. The Ironmen scored first with a goal from Riley O'Sullivan very early in the first quarter after winning possession. But Glen Ridge has since responded with a pair of goals, one from Kevin O'Neill and a fantastic behind-the-back shot from Matt Larkin for the go-ahead goal. Glen Ridge, last time these two teams played, Glen Ridge beat Don Bosco 9-7. That was at Glen Ridge last season. Don Bosco, though, won in 2012, 9-5. So recent history between these two teams is just about even. Glen Ridge breaks the huddle, comes out onto the field. It's been a theme so far in this game. Glen Ridge has broken both timeouts, and they came out onto the field before the start of the game before Don Bosco. The Ironmen looking to take a little bit more time, as much time as they feel necessary, obviously, to get set for whatever strategy they're going to try and put in place here to try and tie this game up early in the first quarter. 2-1 again. Glen Ridge leads Don Bosco at Charles I. Granatel Athletic Stadium in Ramsey, New Jersey. Don Bosco 2-0 so far this season. Glen Ridge 0-1, trying to get on the winning side of the ledger for the first time in 2014. And Riley O'Sullivan will start with the ball for Don Bosco, being defended by Marcus Cunningham. Rubino with it now. Russell Massey behind the net. Connor Carroll. Now Jack Gall. Gall moving left on McDermott. Tries to get a pass. Fires it. Scores. A fantastic shot there by Jack Gall as he beat Patty McDermott and beat goalie Connor Duffus with a fantastic shot from the left side. And we are even at 2. Now back to the face-off at midfield. Jack DePhillips, the main face-off man for Glen Ridge, will take this one against Spallanzani. A procedure call against Don Bosco will allow Glen Ridge to take the possession. And that goes right to DePhillips. DePhillips to Larkin. Larkin, Schwerin to O'Neill. O'Neill to D'Alessandro. D'Alessandro moving past his defender, but good play there by number 32, Dan Johnson. And now it's back to the top spot in DePhillips. DePhillips, good defense by Spallanzani. Now Spallanzani going down, and that allows Phillips to get in, but he can't keep the handle on that shot. And now it's Don Bosco's chance to bring it up as Greg Pandice tosses it up to Brooks Rubino, defended by number 16, Jack Topping. Now behind the net, Connor Carroll to O'Sullivan. O'Sullivan defended by Jackson Kinsley, the senior. O'Sullivan and Kinley, eyes on each other now. O'Sullivan moves right. Nice move on Kinsley. Kinsley fake pass, moving past the net, fires. Oh, a great save by Connor Duffus. And now Duffus trying to start the break with a pass up to Kinley. Checked there by O'Sullivan, not effective. Kinley bringing it in. Glen Ridge trying to turn a defensive stop into an offensive chance. Moving from the net, O'Neill fires and he misses the net. O'Neill had a fantastic chance, but that's back-to-back fantastic saves by both teams. First, Duffus with a great save for Glen Ridge. And then a great save by Kieran McCullough of Don Bosco. So both goalies with big stops, keeping this game tied at 2-2. And the Don Bosco fans very supportive of Kieran McCullough, the goalie who after the season will be headed on to play college lacrosse at the Stevens Institute of Technology. Don Bosco now getting set up on offense, getting the right players in there. As getting set up to defend is Glen Ridge. Kevin O'Neill with good defense there on Jack Gall. Now back up to O'Sullivan. Defended by the senior Cunningham. Trying to work past Cunningham, but the senior defenseman not letting him have an inch there as Gall now has it against O'Neill. Trying to work past O'Neill. Good defense, though, by Glen Ridge. Fires it past. Oh, a great save by Duffus. And he corrals the ball. And Glen Ridge is back on offense as O'Neill races it up the field. No one steps out the defender, but now someone finally does. He passes it. Can't find the handle on it. Was Schwerin, but he managed to pass it off. And now we get a whistle. That is the end of the first quarter. So we are done with the first 12 minutes here at Charles A. Granito Athletic Stadium, and we are dead even. The score, Glen Ridge 2, Don Bosco 2. Back here on the campus of Don Bosco Prep High School at Charles A. Granito Athletic Stadium for high school lacrosse between the Glen Ridge Ridgers and the Don Bosco Prep Ironmen. Through one quarter here, and the game is even at 2. Ready to take the face-off for Glen Ridge is Jack DePhillips, their main face-off midfielder, against John Andrew Spellanzani, the main face-off midfielder for the Don Bosco Prep Ironmen. Ball down, and we are ready to go here in the second quarter of play. Good fight for the ball there, eventually picked up for Don Bosco by Greg Pandice. And the long midi working back into his own zone, trying to clear it, now gets it up. Nice pass to number 28, Thomas Joyce, who brings it up. Don Bosco sets up their offense while Glen Ridge sets up their defense. And behind the net, Russell Massey passing to number 12, Connor Carroll. Back to Spellanzani, and here comes Riley O'Sullivan. The main point man on this attack all day so far for Don Bosco. Spellanzani now with it, defended by number 24, Jackson Kinley, the senior captain of the Glen Ridge Ridgers. Now back to the top, Thomas Joyce. Trying to find some space against DePhillips, moving past him. Good checking by DePhillips, keeps him far away from there, and then pass to O'Sullivan. O'Sullivan, nice move on Kinsley, fires it in, score! Great move by Riley O'Sullivan, his second goal of the game. And he totally faked out Jackson Kinley on that one. So Don Bosco Prep moves ahead 3-2. On O'Sullivan's second goal of the year. Now taking the faceoff for Don Bosco, Jack Maruzak against Jack DePhillips. So a couple of Jacks out there for both teams taking the faceoff. Good job by Maruzak winning the faceoff. By Mazurak, winning the faceoff. Now nice defensive play by number 25, Ryan DeLisandro. And DeLisandro bringing it up on the attack for Glen Ridge after a fine interception. Gets in between two defenders but loses the ball and picked up by Dan Johnson. And now Don Bosco bringing it ahead, trying to build on their 3-2 lead. O'Sullivan trying to find another goal. Nice pass in, shot, great save by Duffus. And now Glen Ridge back on the attack, led by their senior captain, Jackson Kinley. Kinley trying to make up for getting faked out in the last goal by O'Sullivan. Passes it off to DeLisandro. DeLisandro, a junior attacker for Glen Ridge. Oh, nice move on Spellanzani, but good checking. Spellanzani wouldn't let him get past. Pass up to Kinsley, trying to set up a play. Kinley moving in. Good defense by Dan Johnson. Kinsley fires it. Great save by Kieran McCullough. Pass ahead by Spellanzani. Checked by Glen Ridge. Loses the ball. But picked up by Dan Johnson. Moving it ahead. as Don Bosco clears it. Gives it up to Connor Carroll. Carroll racing around, trying to find an opening to get to the net. Instead just settles for passing it behind the net to Russell Massey. Massey defended by Marcus Cunningham. And now back in comes that man again, Riley O'Sullivan. It's a matchup, as I mentioned before, between two of the best teams in New Jersey State lacrosse. Coming into the season, Glen Ridge was ranked 10th, Don Bosco 13th. Glen Ridge was 11-8 last season. Don Bosco Prep 18-3, and both of these teams have a slew of guys who will be going to play college lacrosse. And there's a shot and a score by John Andrew Spallanzani. And Don Bosco's lead is stretched to 2. It's 4-2 Ironmen here in the second quarter. Don Bosco Prep, after falling behind 2-1, has scored 3 straight goals to go ahead. Patty McDermott taking the face-off here against Jack Mazurek. McDermott wins it, brings it in. Oh, great check by Greg Pandice. The ball comes up, but a flag comes in, and we might have a slashing call here, which would be 30 seconds. And Pandice goes to the box. And that will be a slashing call against Don Bosco Prep. 30 seconds, a man up for Glen Ridge here, and they will try and cut this lead back to 1 goal. And what better man to start it than Jackson Kinley? As I mentioned, the senior captain, senior midfielder, and captain of the Glen Ridge Ridgers. Glen Ridge working around to Phillips, to O'Neill, back to the top spot. Schwerin with it, Kinley. Firing it towards the net there, but a great save on a shot by D'Alessandro. Now back to the net, ball free. D'Alessandro with a great shot, and it bounces in. And Glen Ridge capitalizing on the man-up opportunity. They get a goal. D'Alessandro with it, and it's 3-2 now, 4-3 now, Don Bosco. I should mention that both teams have D'Alessandros on their team. Mike D'Alessandro for Don Bosco, number 8. Number 25, Raylan D'Alessandro for Glen Ridge. No relation between the two of them. Back up to the midfield area for the face-off. A scrum for that ball. Both checking by both teams as both teams fight for the ball back in Don Bosco's defensive zone. Glen Ridge ends up with it, but we have a stoppage and a timeout for Glen Ridge. So a big goal there by Glen Ridge after a big penalty taken by the Don Bosco Prep Ironmen set them up with a man-up opportunity. And Ryan D'Alessandro capitalized on it. And D'Alessandro led the team with 3 goals in their loss to Bergen Catholic on the 26th. As Kevin Neal and Jack Phillips also scored twice, but D'Alessandro was their leading scorer. And both these teams, as I mentioned, stacked with talent that will be college talent next season. As I mentioned, Jackson Kinley, the senior captain for the Ridgers, will be playing at Michigan next year. And Marcus Cunningham, their senior defenseman, will be playing collegiately at Syracuse next season. Don Bosco Prep, meanwhile, with several players who will be playing college lacrosse, including Greg Pandice, who's moving on to UMass, Mike D'Alessandro, who will be playing college lacrosse at UNC Chapel Hill. And Riley O'Sullivan, as we mentioned, has 2 goals today, will be playing at Georgetown next year. He committed to Georgetown when he was just a sophomore. So Glen Ridge ready to start the play. Nathaniel John with it. Top part to the top to Michael Fauno. Now to O'Neill. O'Neill trying to get past Greg Pandice. Pandice won't let him. Good checking now. Pass behind the net to number 18, Jake Schwern. Schwern checked by Chris Rukoff. Michael Fauno with it now. Fauno trying to fire it into the net, but can't. Nice save by Kieran McCullough, but his pass a little bit too far for Thomas Joyce. Glen Ridge with it, but an offsides call against the Ridgers, allows Don Bosco to take possession. Don Bosco pushing the action up towards the Glen Ridge defensive zone, and now pass behind the net to Russell Massey. Don Bosco had their 2-goal lead taken away when D'Alessandro scored for Glen Ridge. Now trying to up their lead back up to that margin with a goal here. Massey with it now behind the net, defended by Brandon Haynes. Now here's that man O'Sullivan passing it to Jack Gall. Gall trying to fight past McDermott, does. Now backs up to Spallanzani, fires it Twine, and he finds the Twine for a goal. Great shot by Spallanzani. He's got 2 goals so far today, and it's 5-3 Don Bosco. And Don Bosco's lead is back up to 2 goals with that one. Back to the midfield for the face-off. Face-off won by DePhillips. DePhillips bringing it in. A bad pass, though. Can't find his man. Ends up being picked up, though, by Glen Ridge in the person of Kevin O'Neill. O'Neill to DePhillips. DePhillips trying to find his way in, can't. Ends up passing it off to D'Alessandro. D'Alessandro to behind the net to O'Neill. Schwerin with it, gives it to DePhillips. Defended by Thomas Joyce. Joyce, just a sophomore midfielder, already seeing a lot of time for the Ironman. DePhillips can't find a place to go. Now tries to give it up to Kinley, but Kinley lost the handle on it, and here comes Don Bosco again. Michael Stafford bringing it up as Don Bosco sets up their attack. And here comes O'Sullivan again. O'Sullivan with it, defended by Larkin. Larkin, a junior midfielder for the Ridgers, defending the junior Riley O'Sullivan. Nice move, but can't get by number 21, Brandon Haynes. Good defense by Brandon Haynes. Would not let O'Sullivan get a clear shot at the net. Now slowing it down is Jack Gall. Gall will be playing college lacrosse at Hamilton College next season as he is a senior. Here is Spallanzani looking for his 3rd goal. Fires a bouncer that goes past Connor Duffus. And out of bounds possession retained by Don Bosco Prep. Back to the top, Spallanzani. Defended by Larkin. Good defense by Larkin. Now O'Sullivan can't find the handle on that one. Here is Connor Carroll. Carroll defended by number 23, Chris Bronander, senior defenseman for Glen Ridge. Now the Ironmen working it around, trying to find an open spot, an opportunity to increase their lead to the biggest it's been today. Would it be today? That's 3 goals. So they lead now 5-3. A bad pass, though, by Russell Massey, and Glen Ridge ends up with possession. Jack Topping, the senior defenseman, bringing it up, gives it up to Marcus Cunningham. Cunningham to O'Neill. Good defense, though, by Greg Pandice. Wouldn't let him get a free shot at the goal. O'Neill trying to fight around, fires it, and finds the net. Or at least according to Glen Ridge thought they did. The referees ruled otherwise, and play continues as McCullough with apparently a fantastic save to keep Don Bosco's lead at 2 goals. Pass across the field, can't be corralled by Spallanzani. Oh, a great job though, corralling it on one bounce. And here is Gall. Massey with it now. Rubino tosses it to O'Sullivan. As I mentioned, Riley O'Sullivan will be playing college lacrosse at the University of North Carolina once he graduates, which won't be until 2015. But North Carolina is willing to wait for a player of O'Sullivan's caliber. Don Bosco leading 5-3 here in the second quarter, about midway through. You have to forgive me, I can't be more precise on that. The clock is not working here at Don Bosco Prep. Now here is Gall firing it behind the net as they fired around. Spallanzani almost thought about taking a shot, but Matt Larkin dissuaded him with good defense. Now here's O'Sullivan with Cunningham working on him. And Cunningham, good defense there. Now here is Brooks Rubino. Rubino trying to get around, defended there by Chris Bronander. Now it's O'Sullivan and Gall at the top of the zone. Gall defended by Jackson Kinley. Now to Spallanzani. Spallanzani shot there by Michael Salvatelli goes out of bounds. Salvatelli's shot went across the net mouth wide, out of bounds, but the possession stays with the Ironmen. Rubino. Defended by Jack Topping. Trying to find an open man in front of the net to pass it to. He's got Spallanzani trying to work his way open, but he loses the handle. Picked up by Topping. Eventually gets it to the goalie, Connor Duffus. And now bringing it up is Larkin. Behind the net, O'Neill. Now coming in, here is DePhillips. DePhillips working on Spallanzani. Trying to find an open space. Now runs past him, fires it into the net for a goal. Good persistence there by Jack DePhillips. He worked on Spallanzani, kept working on him, and eventually found a way to get by him. And was able to find the net with the shot. And this is a one-goal game again after the goal by DePhillips. That's the fourth goal for Glen Ridge. They've been by 4 different players. Kevin O'Neill had the first one, followed by Matt Larkin, Ryan D'Alessandro with the third one, and that one by number 33, Jack DePhillips. Now Phillips ready to take the face-off, but Spallanzani wins it. And now Don Bosco Prep trying to set up their offense, trying to restore their 2-goal lead. They've led by 2 a couple of times. They led 4-2, and they led 5-3, and they're trying to make it another 2-goal lead at 6-4 as Connor Carroll working on Chris Bronander. Carroll, a senior attack man, now gives it to Gall. Gall trying to find space, now gets it to Spallanzani. Good ball movement by Don Bosco as they try and find an open lane. Spallanzani with a shot, but can't take it. Good defense there by Bronander. O'Sullivan now, defended by number 28, Marcus Cunningham. Behind the net, Massey, good defense there by number 21, Brandon Haynes, the senior midfielder, but he maintains possession, and Don Bosco continues its search for an offensive opportunity here. O'Sullivan, defended by Cunningham. Gall trying to set a screen there, but Cunningham wouldn't fall for it and responded by checking Gall. And Gall got a few whacks to the stick and said, enough of this, I'm out of here. Now Cunningham defending Rubino. Aggressive defense. Excuse me, that's Jack DePhillips. Aggressive defense by DePhillips here, checking Rubino, not letting him get an open lane for a pass. Now pass up to the top, DePhillips to O'Sullivan. Defended this time by Michael Salvatelli, another senior for Glen Ridge. O'Sullivan defended tightly by Salvatelli as the junior searches for a passing lane or a scoring opportunity. 5-4, Don Bosco Prep leads right here in Ramsey, New Jersey at Charles A. Granatell Stadium. Now O'Sullivan gets past his man, trying to get towards the net, but recovering, and now the pass in front of the net bounced over the net by Massey. Now a pass from the goalie, Connor Duffus, to midfield, a little bit too far, but retained by Glen Ridge. A pass for the net is, shot for the net, is saved by McCullough. Referees blow their whistle. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is halftime here at Charles A. Granatell Athletic Stadium. The score as we go to the half, Don Bosco Prep 5, Glen Ridge 4 here in Ramsey, New Jersey.